Everyone in the service industry has a story. Crazy customers, wild orders, and WTF moments. Do you want to start a tab? The podcast here to bring you those tales from behind the bar. My name is Carl, and I'm thrilled to be in the service industry for 10 plus years.
Every time you say a different number. My name is Riley, and I have previously worked in the service industry, but I'm no longer there.
You're in a service industry, not just the hospitality service industry.
Yeah.
You service people, right?
Don't say it like that.
Yeah, okay. It sounds like
Don't say it like that.
She does not work on the corner or the red light district. But
I'm in human services.
yes. Whoops.
Jesus.
Words do matter, right? But so if this is your first time listening to this lovely podcast, what we do is we read stories off the internet, discuss it, that involves bartenders, bartender life, and even just maybe just hospitality life in general. We talk about it, have fun with it, tell you maybe who the asshole is, and also how the situation could have been handled differently between guest and worker.
If applicable, yeah.
Right. And then what we do is rate the story from 1 to 5, 1 being an average story, and 5 being a story that we have not seen before, extraordinary, and just very unusual. So, yeah, I'm excited today. Are you excited for today?
I'm so excited.
We have one of our many friends that we have met over the past 3 years through YouTube. I think, let's just fucking say it. It's the best community on YouTube, the cocktail community, the YouTubers and stuff like that.
Hands down.
Hands down. So, without any further delay and me rambling, let's have Vino, Valentino of 60 Seconds Cocktails say hello.
Woo,
You
what up,
almost
yo?
you almost said street.
Yeah, right. 62 Street.
What is up, gals and pals, right?
Right. How you doing today, bud?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm usually the one doing the interviewing, so this is fun. This is
Right.
nice.
Yeah. I wish I hope you bring those interviews back. They were fun, and
I will.
they were great to listen to. So
Yeah.
But
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
so everyone knows that. Well, not everyone. Well, I just said. So yes, everyone knows that you have a YouTube channel. But what else? What experience do you have in the hospitality industry? Let's hear your 30-second elevator pitch.
Yeah, dude. 15 plus years, high-end special event catering, New York City. You name it, I've done it. High-end event for every celebrity, socialite venue in New York City.
There you go. And are you? So yeah, I'm excited to have you on here. What story you have? Man, we've talked so many times, late nights on Discord groups, and your fucking stories are always just crazy. So I'm excited to see what fire you're bringing to the table tonight. What Bronx
Right.
level shit you're bringing. So
Too much pressure, man.
yeah, I know, right? What are we drinking, Mr. Vino? What are you drinking tonight?
So today, as an homage to you guys.
Oh,
because- So just to let your readers know, or your audience know, many moons ago, you guys introduced me to something called Tomcat Gin.
Oh yes,
And this stuff, forget about it.
it's like fucking
is one
life
of my-
changing.
It is so good. So I call it a Top Cat.
Okay.
And it's basically a Tomcat Gin Manhattan, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Ooh.
That I haven't tried that. That sounds phenomenal.
Pause this fucking podcast. Let me run downstairs real quick and make that motherfucker. So is it just equal parts then, just like a regular Manhattan, or is it 2 to 1?
I do 2 to 1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
And then I split the bitters, orange and Ango.
Sweet. What sweet vermouth do you like with that?
I'm a Carpano guy. It's the
Yeah.
one I drink.
It's the only one you drink.
I'm a creature of habit, brother.
Yeah, I get it. I
Creature
get
of
it.
habit.
I get it. I mean, it's good shit for sure.
The best.
And Riley and I are drinking the same thing because we're not under the weather, but we're not feeling great. Like the past couple of days have been our days off, and it's just kind of like we felt kind of meh. We went to the doctor or acute care, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I have an ear infection. I didn't know adults could get those.
Yeah, and I'm negative on strep and COVID, so we're
So
good.
you have a virus of some sort.
Yeah.
A cold.
So it's so funny. Like the doctor checks her ear. And I'm like, can I see what an infected ear looks like? And she goes, absolutely. She shows me, and then she shows me, here's what a good ear. I'm like, ew. Need a refund, please.
On your marriage license.
Right. So yeah, we're just
The
drinking a hot.
irony is that we were supposed to do this last week. but
Right.
I was sick.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you guys just sick.
So we were sitting in
guys-
the doctor's office, and I look at her. I'm like, do we still want to do the Vino? Do we want to push it? And she's like, I'll do it. I'm like, I'll do it. And then if we just do a couple hot toddies at old granddad 114. So we're here to
I would have
It's
done it if it
probably-
weren't for the fact that I was hacking my brains out. And it was
Yeah.
I don't think that would have sounded as good on as you guys sound right now. But cheers to you both. Hope you both feel better.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on.
I mean, we'll definitely feel better by the end of this hot toddy because there's probably an ounce and a half of Old Granddad 114 in it.
Oh, nice.
Guys,
I like it.
I've watched Riley's journey grow, and it's just more bourbon, more bourbon, more bourbon. So I love you so much.
Watching Riley's transition from the start to now is fascinating.
It is.
It's fascinating, man.
Yeah.
And I love the guessing game thing. What's her record now?
Fuck, I stopped.
She's still above 500.
She's still above 500.
Yeah.
I need to go back and recount, but yeah. So,
Nice.
so yeah.
Love it.
So-
I tell you, Riley, I'm telling you, because my career started out really heavy in wine,
Right.
and women make the best sommeliers. They just have much more sophisticated palates. Like, I don't know what it's like science, I think, man. But you should look into that, Riley.
The closest is Chicago.
Was that
The closest is Chicago, and that's 3.5 hours away. Like
the
in order,
closest
like
what?
the school.
Sommeliers? place?
Yeah.
School? Oh man, that sucks.
If we ever get the money, like whatever, like I would love to send you.
Yeah, it'd be so much fun. I would love to do it.
Yeah.
She'd probably be fantastic at it.
Absolutely.
And it's really, and they're catering to the women big time now. It's like a big kind of thing. So she'd be rocking.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's what makes us great together. When we're making cocktails together, like her palate is more sophisticated than mine. I just know how to put shit together to make it taste like however we want it, So
He says it's great until I give him criticism. So don't let him lie to you.
we always argue like quarter ounce of this, quarter ounce of that.
Well, yeah, because it makes a difference.
I know.
Well, Carl has a bit of a sweet tooth, I noticed. Because in his cocktails, sometimes they're a little too sweet. Like now I always have to dumb it down a little bit on the sweetness.
Yeah.
I mean, recently he's gotten real bitter. So both emotionally
his earlier
and
stuff is earlier.
Yeah.
both emotionally and in cocktails, bitter.
It's this grind.
The industry will do that to you. That's why I left, guys. That's why I left.
I got you. So do you have Matty Ice or Ice Matt or Ice follow you on YouTube?
Iceman?
Yeah.
I'm the reason he follows anyone on YouTube.
Okay.
He found me on Reddit, and then from there he started following other people.
Oh, you know what? He did say that to me one time in a DM. He said, "What the fuck? I gotta log in."
Shout out to Matt. Matt's his name. That dude is dope, man. He's a dope ass dude.
Right.
Him and his wife Sparkle.
I told him it'd be fucking. He has a dark comedy series. Could be written about his fucking life.
Yeah, seriously, right? Oh man.
All right, so here we go. Fuck, man, he writes fucking stories.
He does.
All right, so we have a user submitted story on our subreddit. And if you'd like to submit a story to our subreddit, go check out the description of whatever podcast platform you're on, or even our YouTube videos. It's in there. It doesn't have to be a 5-star. It doesn't have to be a 1-star. If it's just fun, it doesn't have to involve an asshole. If it's just a story you want to share with us because you thought it was interesting, do it. We're here for all of it. So, Iceman 25K, he submitted a couple before, and they're always lavish. Or not lavish, yeah. They're over the top.
Yeah.
Here's the title. Owner kicked us out and tried to incite violence over karaoke.
Okay. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Right, exactly. This is as close to as 5 as I'll have in my arsenal, and it's not even the good of a story. Just weird. See? That's all we got. Weird is fine.
Weird is fine.
I've been sitting on this one for a bit, hoping to meet up with my friends to discuss it more details since this happened almost 20 years ago. Fuck, I can't remember anything from 2 weeks ago, let alone 20 years ago. When I was learning how to drink in bars and not a basement, I went with my cheap-ass friends to the diviest bars we could dive into. Most of the friends I went with were from the town where this one bar was located. The owner was always at the bar and would talk to us about the local community, relatives of ours that he knew, and just general things about the town. The owner was always drinking, always seemed drunk, and would get us free drinks. One specific night, he told my friend to do karaoke. I joined him as we sang George Thorogood. Halfway through the song, the owner stormed the karaoke platform, pushed me, grabbed the mics, and told us we were fucking it up and that wasn't singing. I told the owner we're not singers, and that's why we're singing the song in particular. He continued screaming that it wasn't singing. We were told to get the fuck out of there over the mic and ask patrons playing pool to fuck us up. Again, on the mic so everyone could hear. Those billiard players went to high school with us, and at some point they were in the same grade, although I don't know if they ever graduated with us. They were highly confused and just said, maybe you should go. We walked out, the owner followed us, and we all shouted a lot of creative things to each other, and we left. People told us about the night in the past and told us the owner regrets it and cut down on his drinking. I know a few people that continued to go there, but I never returned and closed for good during the pandemic or right before it. There we go. That's actually one of his shorter stories.
Yeah. Wild.
So that's
the abridged version?
Right. That sounds like a bar rescue fucking episode.
Yeah, it does.
Man.
I mean, but how do you run karaoke and expect people to actually sing?
Right. That's the whole point of karaoke is we're bad singing.
Terrible singers.
Right. We're all not all fucking American Idol.
Right.
I've never done karaoke.
What?
Ever. Yeah, it's not my thing.
You got a fucking rap album out, motherfucker. Like, how do you
That's why I've never done karaoke.
You're afraid it's going to tarnish your career as a rapper?
You get all bougie about it. I'm not doing that shit.
That's like me never ordering a cocktail unless it's like shaken or stirred properly. Like, I don't want it.
Exactly.
God.
I don't order Long Island iced teas. I'm a mixologist.
Hey, I make one of the best Long Islands in town. I'll stand behind that motherfucker all day long. But
you know, first, come on, look. The fucking there is no good version of the Long Island iced tea, and I would stand by that.
all right, in June when I come and see you, I'll fucking either make it for you or have a bartender make it the way I make it, and we'll go from there. All right. So yeah,
a different cocktail, which is gonna not make it a Long Island iced tea.
So, man, I've actually never seen an owner get super drunk and just harass guests at a bar. Because when I lived above Just Cuz, he never drank.
Right.
He was always the friendliest motherfucker out there. And that would be the closest to an owner being at the bar I would be at.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I've never seen an owner get drunk and yell at somebody in public. I've seen owners doing dumb things later, but never
Right.
at the time.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone get mad at someone for karaoke. You know, they just let it. If you're terrible, they don't fucking care. They just let it go.
And they laugh at you.
Right.
Maybe order more drinks because they don't want to hear you.
Yeah. What experience have you ever seen owners get fucked up, like super fucked up, and yell at their guests?
Not really bars, but restaurants. So you know, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. So
Right.
You know, the restaurants used to be owned by a certain persuasion of individual, and you know, these guys would get twisted, like destroyed. And then they would just harass all the ladies and stuff like that, and it would be really embarrassing after a while. And a lot of these guys were my friends, or are my friends and stuff, and they would just get so hammered, and they would just be totally inappropriate, and you couldn't do anything about it because who they were and what they were, you know. So you're just like, hey, thanks for groping my wife, like, you know. I mean, not me. Fortunately, I knew the guys, but you know, it'd be like, you know, people off the street would come in, have a nice dinner, and then there'd be a little bit of a uncomfortable situation.
Right.
Yeah, first of all, talking to women like super inappropriately, I'm scared to do that because I'm, first of all, kind of scared of women, kind of. At least back in the day before I started bartending. So like even just to say, hey, how are you?
You're scared, like socially scared.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like physically scared, but just like
be physically scared.
At least of Riley.
Right. Oh, I am. This is a huge facade I put on all the time. But so yeah, I don't know, like talking to women like in a degrading way. Like I don't see it a lot at the hotel bar, and I've really only worked at like fancier spots, so you don't see it too much. But when you see it, it's like super awkward because it just feels even more out of place. I'm not saying it's appropriate at any place. I'm just saying it seems more inappropriate at like
at a hotel bar.
Yeah. But then again,
hotel bar scenes, yeah, it does definitely, especially because it's usually tourists or it's like just kind of a passing through type of thing where the people's experience is going to be destroyed by something like that. Versus like, you know, I spent a lot of time in nightclubs, and you would see that shit in nightclubs all the time. Man.
Right.
Girls would get totally like assaulted basically. God. And it was kind of the culture of the business, unfortunately, you know. Especially here in New York. You know, back in the 90s when I was in the business, you know, and the nightclubs, they were giant warehouses that were converted into nightclubs. So you couldn't look at every nook and cranny there.
Right.
They were huge. They were 2-3 floors. They were blocks long. Places like the Tunnel, Exit, Carbon, the Sound Factory. I mean, it was so much space, so much darkness,
right,
and so much ecstasy. Oh my God. That stuff was everywhere. Everybody was using it. I wasn't, but everybody was. And it would lead to some really unfortunate incidents, you know.
Yeah.
You hope the bouncers would catch, but not necessarily all the time.
Yeah, I know, like, we watched some documentary about a festival, Woodstock, or at least I watched it. And like the last Woodstock, they had a warehouse. They turned into like a house party, and the people there were just saying, yeah, people were doing all the ecstasy. So they're just on the back walls because no one was paying attention because they were hidden, you know, and stuff like that. But I think the closest thing I think the closest thing I ever seen to one of my bosses getting drunk. I mean, I've seen some of my bosses get drunk, but to go verbally assault people
and to tell people to fuck other people up.
Right. I've never seen that, but one of my bosses at the restaurant I worked at was a family restaurant, and he would just go and sit down and fucking take fries off people's fucking plates and just eat them. He wouldn't even know him. It's not even like his friend. It's just a total stranger. And I'd go, why do you do that? He's like, well, people don't mind. I'm like, but it's your restaurant. They're paying for that food.
Right.
You know? And, you know, he didn't listen to me, whatever. I've been there for 6 years. And so then there was another time his sister was working in the kitchen too. And she would start drinking cheap Yellowtail Chardonnay. And one time they're just yelling back and forth at each other. And you could hear it out in the fucking floor. And I walk back in there. And I've been there for 4 years now. And so I don't fucking care if they fire me or not. I tell them, like, you guys need to shut the fuck up. Because people
in the dining room can
hear you. It's uncomfortable. This is our restaurant. We do what we want. I go, if you want these fucking people to keep coming back, you need to shut the fuck up or go outside. You know, but
it's funny. One of the things I've always I realized is restaurant owners and bar owners, I think they treat the establishments very differently. Mm-hmm. Restaurant owners are very they're part of the face of the establishment, right? They want people to feel like they're at home. This is their place to come visit. At least, again, growing up here in the Bronx, in my neighborhood. While bar owners, because they don't want to give away free drinks, they tend to stay in the back where nobody knows they're there. Right. They kind of stay off to the side. While restaurant owners, you know, especially like the chef wants to, you know, he wants to hear everyone tell him how great he is and stuff like that. So they tend to be more in the scene of front of the house of the restaurant. While bars owners, I found, tend to stay towards, you know, off to the side.
Right.
Yeah, I get that for sure. I mean, that's why I bartend, so people can tell me how great my drinks are right in front of my face all the time. I need my ego boosted all the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wonder, man, like, so, okay.
You know, Carl, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Go on, like, I always say this to people, and I'm assuming you're the same way, Carl. I think most bartenders are, most chefs are. When you make a drink for someone, you play it cool. Oh, here's your cocktail. But you feed off their reaction to a cocktail, especially when it's something like maybe you're introducing them to, or it's your own specialty cocktail.
Right.
I played so cool, but inside I'm like an old grandmother giving you her special meatballs. I'm like, hey, try it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, here you go. Let me know what you think.
Exactly.
Wait, you didn't take a sip already? It's been sitting there for 20 seconds already. Right. I would have to have that fucker gone already. Let's go.
I'm just going to stare you down until I watch you take a sip, and then I'm going to look at your face. I'm going to look away because you didn't see me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, I agree with what you just said, you know, but the biggest thing for me is when they say they like it and they take like 20 minutes to drink it. I'm like, do they really like it? You know, or they just sip it on because they don't. But then I got to remind myself, people don't drink like I do all the goddamn time. You know, they take 20 minutes to drink a drink.
And people nurse it because they don't want to spend a lot of money either. You know what I'm saying? If you're charging $15 for a cocktail, you know, another cocktail is going to cost them $30 now. That's $30 for two drinks. You know?
Right.
I think they're going to be a little slow with it. You know.
Vino, this is Iowa. My most expensive cocktail is $13. So.
But still, it's Iowa.
15 was my cheapest.
Right. But no, like, okay.
That was just water with ice.
Right. Well, you just waved Hawkeye vodka over the fucking bottle. But so back to the story. Like, it's interesting though that this owner was trying to get guests to beat the fuck out of him.
Right.
You know, like that's even weirder.
Like, do it yourself.
Yeah. Right. Do it yourself.
You don't want somebody beat up too.
He didn't want the lawsuit. That's why he's like,
right.
Let these guys catch that.
Right.
Let them catch the assault charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
But man, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, if you're doing karaoke though, karaoke is meant to be like, again, I've never done it. I've experienced it where I've been around it. it's people just act a fool, man. That's the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if they wanted to like sound good and be real about it, they go on American Idol or something like that.
Right.
But you know, they're out there to have a good old time. And in New York City, you know, there's a lot because I know karaoke is big with Koreans. I think Japanese too. I don't know, but there's a lot of those Korean karaoke bars around here, Japanese karaoke bars, and they're just full of people that come after work. They're getting shit faced and they're singing, you know, every Journey song you could think of.
Yeah.
You know, and they're having a good old time.
Just to let loose. It's
Yeah.
Karaoke is not meant to be enjoyable. Karaoke is meant to be fun.
Right. You're just doing something because we all wish we could be singers in front of a fucking band in front of 10,000 people.
Hard disagree. No, we do not.
But no, what's funny is there's the one is like that always that one person that's got really good vocals and everyone's kind of annoyed. They're like, oh, come on, this is just fun. What are you doing up there?
Right.
Like Whitney Houston. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It takes away from the joy of it.
When I worked at I lived above a bar, this is a divey neighborhood bar. One of the bartenders, she could fucking belt it out. And about every 40 minutes, someone just put her name on the fucking list in some random song. And she just go up there, belt it out, and you know. But it's like, fuck.
I guess it's kind of cool though when it's the bartender, though. You know what I'm saying? Because they already have like a bit of a celebrity status inside the joint anyway. You know, when it's like some random Joe showing up and doing that, you're like, oh, come on. You know.
Yeah. But man, I will say this: Iceman holds a fucking grudge. Because his story about St. Patty's Day, he fucking like, I ain't going back to that bar either. Like one back.
I mean, I wouldn't go back to the bar where the owner wanted to assault me.
Right. I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, he heard stories about apologizing and stuff like that. Maybe after 5 years.
No, if you can find me. We have Facebook. You can find me and
This
say
is
to my
20
face.
years ago.
We have MySpace.
He also lives like, you know, the Philadelphia area, so he doesn't have to go back to any bar. He's got options. You know what I'm saying? If it's a one bar town, he might make up with the guy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want him on my bad side. He's gonna hold a grudge. He ain't gonna ever forgive me.
Well, I mean, for all of the experience he's given to us, I wouldn't forgive them either.
Right. No, I get it. It's just playing around. Just trying to poke the bear and be.
Well, you poked it.
Speaking of poking,
shut the fuck
up.
I'm
gonna poke more of this drink in my mouth.
Stop. That was dumb. That was so dumb.
Trying to be smooth. All right. So Vino? What do you want to give a rating of the story? 1 to 5.
All right. So, you know, working in events, that kind of shit, face drinking, singing happens all the time, but there's never any want to throw them out because they pay for the space. It's their space. They can do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I can't tell you how I feel about the guy doing that, except he's a bit of a prick. He's like, you know, let the guys have a good time. So
you told him to go up. Yeah, you told him to go up there and sing karaoke. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe he had a bad day. Who knows? Maybe, you know, maybe his fucking kid came out the closet. He wasn't too happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, people are crazy. They bring shit home, you know, bring it to work, you know?
Well, especially if you're getting fucking blasted at work and it's your work. Right. So maybe the bar's not doing well, right? They're like losing $2,000 a month and all this other shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that can happen. People, you know, and these days we know people have so many fucking, like, they carry so much shit for that way, you know? So maybe he had a bad day. So I'll give it a 5 because we don't really know why the guy was like this.
Okay.
I'm not going to shit on it too much.
I got you.
It was still a dick move.
Yeah. So you're saying like this is like one of the wildest things you would imagine in a bar? That's a 5.
Wait. Is 1 to 5? Is 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize it was.
I was about to ask you. Okay, this is like a extreme fucking story you've heard. Like,
this is the most extreme thing you've ever.
Because I could guess some of the stories you've seen with your own fucking eyes and being from Bronx.
By far. Wait. See, I don't know what the rating system was first of all, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be rating.
That's why I fucking go over it.
In terms of wildness, this is a fucking 0. It's not wild at all.
Okay, so it's 1 through 5, 1 being your average story for you, how you personally process it, and 5 being extreme, crazy. What the fuck did I just hear?
Yeah, like a 2, like because I don't know what the guy was dealing with, you know, and I don't really, Matt's a bit of a wild kid. Maybe he's not telling us the full story.
Right.
Maybe they got naked and started saying all kind of fucked up shit. Who knows,
Right. Yeah. Like they say they missang it, right? So what were the misspoke lyrics?
Yeah, well,
right.
exactly. What were the words they were singing?
Right.
Racist or some shit?
Right. Maybe they're making fun of the fucking owner being super drunk, right?
Exactly.
Frank's on the bar again, getting fucked up. Whatever. I don't know. So
Jack, the owner, has a small boner.
yeah, you never know, right? That's why I love this, because there's 3 sides to every story: your side, my side, and then the fucking the truth.
Exactly. We'll talk to Matt offline about that. We'll get the real information.
Yeah. All right.
What do you think?
I'll give it 2.8 because, like, the get mad thing, that's fine, but then asking the other guests in the fucking bar to beat them up and not knowing that they're friends because it's a local bar. You've known these kids probably since they've been fucking in high school anyways.
Right.
Like, they all hang out. Maybe not all hang out, but they know who each other's are.
Right.
They know who each other are.
Right. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 3.2 simply for just the chain of events. You made them sing. Then you got mad they were singing.
Right.
Then you tried to kick them out, and then you tried to get other people to fight them. It's compounding.
Right.
Like each one of those things would be like a 2. But like
maybe he planned it all along. Maybe he planned it. He said, "I'm gonna get these fuckers up there to sing."
Right.
Flip the whole.
Because I've been wanting to fight them for years.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So something crazy happened. My wife. I found that my wife was having an affair. I mean, who knows what happened?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like people when they were upset about something, they have like premeditated shit in their heads, and they're like, "I'm gonna fuck somebody's day up today because mine is fucked up."
Right, because they're ruminating on their own issues, and they just keep thinking about it, and their aggression and their temperature rises, so to speak, and then all of a sudden they explode once you get a little bit of booze in them.
Yeah. So he saw Matt come in. He said, "This guy looks like a happy fella. I'm gonna fuck his day up."
That is a level of toxic that I cannot personally fathom. Like,
it's out there, man. New York City is like the fucking capital for that shit.
I can't wait.
I have never been like, I'm miserable, so other people need to be miserable too. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's not as much as it used to be when before, because New York's so gentrified now. But New Yorkers, like straight up New Yorkers, that was our shit. That was our shit. We're fucking somebody's day up today. I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm having a bad day. So
nobody gets to have a good day. Nobody gets to have a good day. I'm having a bad day
for a long time. Remember, don't forget, New Yorkers are known to be rude and shit like that for so long. That was our shit. We've lost that edge, though. I tell you that. New York is pussy now. It's soft.
It's like Iowa.
Bronx, except for the Bronx, parts of Brooklyn.
That's funny.
I love New York, guys. I love New York.
I can't wait to go. I can't wait. I get a piece, just a little taste,
You're gonna, yeah.
But
you're gonna die.
So yeah, there we go. There's our first story. So,
you're gonna pass out drunk, and a rat is gonna eat you. The rat is gonna be the size of our cats.
Yeah, the rats carry their own pizza out. So
that's funny. All right, so there we go. There is our 4th subreddit post, and it was another banger. Thank you, Matt, for being I don't even know what I can go for, but thank you for that submission, Iceman 25K. We appreciate you. And again, like I said earlier,
a facilitator of great stories.
There we go. Yes. Like I said, his life could be made into like a dark comedy TV series and just fucking go with it, so. But yeah.
He should have like one of those blogs, where you just sending your entries.
Right. All right, Mr. Vino, Valentino. Yeah. What do you have for us today?
God. All right, here's one of my favorite stories. So it was a wedding. And so we used to do a lot of high-end weddings, right? And it was a Tuscan-style wedding. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like basically the dinner table is this really long table.
Okay.
Right? So fits 30, 40 people, maybe more. It depends on how big the wedding is, right? So it's one long table, and I think this one was maybe 100 people. It was a super long wedding table, right? And socialites, like spoiled brats, very people with money.
Right.
And so they always want the most elaborate wedding they can possibly have, right? It has to have every bell and whistle you could think of. And it's always over the top and completely unnecessary, but they got the money. Who's going to stop them?
Right.
So this one bride, their dinner is 13 courses. Okay? 13 courses. She's pounding down the wine. She's pounding it. So she's pounding down the wine, and by the third course, she gets on the she jumps on the table, starts kicking everyone's place settings, going, "I'm done eating. I'm done. I want to go dance." It's just taking too long for her. So she runs across the fucking table, just kicking people's table settings off, and then runs downstairs and starts dancing. No, the DJ's not ready. Nobody's ready. There's still 10 more courses to come out, and she doesn't give a fuck. And the groom is like shocked. He has no idea what to do. Everyone's just kind of shocked. Now there's no plates available. So the DJ's running downstairs, like starts playing music, and she forces everyone to come downstairs. And they left 10 courses on the table. Dessert they brought down. I think they brought dessert down, but she left 10 courses on the table.
What?
And it's for like 100 people, you said?
Yeah, 150 maybe.
And a 13-course meal at a wedding in New York. Sir, I'm assuming service, not
service,
buffet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's and look, one waiter for every 2 people. Like this was like super. Like these people were nuts.
So you're easily paying
$100+ per person for food.
Oh, more than that. I was thinking closer to 1,000.
$100 a person for a napkin, dude. Are you nuts?
Yes, Vino, I am. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up right now.
You're from Iowa. You're from Iowa. I get it. I understand.
So 500+?
No, maybe $1,000. I mean,
Okay.
when you consider food and drink and all the other bells and whistles,
Yeah, that's true.
they were like
It's
they would
13
be usually
courses.
$500,000 to $1 million easy a wedding.
I couldn't even imagine.
You know?
You know what $500,000 wedding in Iowa will get you? You can probably have the whole state come and party at your fucking wedding for $500,000.
You'd buy the venue.
Right, you buy the venue.
Hey, and in New York too, but not if you're having it at a high-end venue or something like that, or with a high-end catering and stuff. It's just what people here are able to do, and so they have these crazy weddings. I mean, there was a bride and a groom who came for a walkthrough, which is like they come check out the space that they were renting out and da 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 da.
Yep.
And during this walkthrough, they're fighting, they're arguing. You could tell these people did not like each other. They were getting married, I think, family type of shit, right? Like keep the wealth in the family. They're fighting. They leave. They rent the space. The day of the wedding, the groom gets shit faced. They're coming down these 2 spiral staircases. She's downstairs waiting for him. He falls down the stairs. He's done. He's on another planet. He's like this. They can't see. I don't know if they can see, but like he's like,
Yeah, right.
What is it called? Going back and forth. He's so drunk.
Rocking.
Yeah, rocking. Hey, he's rocking. Such a big word. I'm not good with the big words. So he's rocking back and forth, and they didn't last. I mean, they went through with the wedding, but apparently, like 2 weeks later, they ended up annulling the wedding and stuff.
Fuck.
But anyway, my point is, they spent a fortune on this wedding.
No,
Just like that, they eat it. They don't give a shit. They eat that shit up, man. I had a German wedding once. These guys spent just for alcohol. I think it was almost $200 a person just for alcohol, right? $200 a person, no food, nothing, right? And then on top of that, they wanted a bottle of a vintage Dom P on every single table. I think they were like $1,500 a bottle on every table. And the guy never asked how much it cost.
Damn, that's fucking.
The father of the groom, the father of the bride never asked how much it cost. He just said he gave the blank checks to take care of it.
Damn, fuck. God damn.
Yeah, the money out there is nuts in the event business, man. It's a whole different animal, especially in New York City.
I get
Yeah.
that. All right, so going back to the original story, like I would have just like how long ago was this? You think, if you remember right?
Man, 10 years ago maybe.
So cell phones, like did iPhone 1 come out yet? Like the first iPhone 10 years ago? Okay, so like
Yeah, this was probably still BlackBerry period.
Right.
There's still cameras and stuff.
right, yeah. I'm just saying like, man, if someone had put that on shit on TikTok, it'd be the most fucking viral video
Oh, it would have
ever.
been super viral. Totally.
Dude, I would just man, I did catering for like 6 years on and off for the company I worked for. I've never seen anyone like that. Like a couple. I saw a couple guys pretty drunk, but they weren't like obnoxious. They were just drunk,
Yeah.
But they were never like, fuck this, it's my day, do what I want type of thing.
Yeah. And this
Yeah,
was
but
the bride.
wasn't it a show called like Bridezillas or something?
Yeah,
like that, right?
it's literally a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. And, you know, it's what's interesting is like it's usually the bride's not as bad as the mother is.
That's true.
The mother could be unbelievable, man. They're crazy. And the father, all he really ever cares about is the bar.
Right.
Right.
And sometimes
because he knows he's going to need it to get through this.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But he's looking at it like, oh, I got to make sure that all the other guys here know that they're going to be drinking the best whiskey and the best wine.
Right.
You
How
know?
big
So,
does
like,
my dick swing
Right.
to make sure my bar is fucking pimp better than your bar?
I'll tell you, these guys used to buy, the fathers used to buy the most expensive Bordeaux, Burgundies, Barolos. Like, these are very expensive wines.
Yep.
Like, it was nothing. They would buy the best champagne. The whiskeys were always. I mean, I had an Indian wedding. These guys bought a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue for like every 3 people.
God.
All right. And it was nothing. It was nothing to them. They don't. I'm telling you, it's nothing to these people. They got so much money. God bless them. I don't count people's money. I can tell you that because hopefully one day that'll be us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they just spend. You know, it's the most special day of their child's life and their own, and they just go balls out, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I guess if you have the fucking money to do it, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Splurge, man. Splurge, brother. That's it. Yeah, it keeps the economy going strong.
Right.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Lines your
I tell
fucking
you one thing
pockets
about
nicely.
I tell you one thing about Indian weddings. So, you know, Indian weddings are like 7 days long or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, and they're very lively.
They're super long, right?
Mhm.
They're the funnest, man. Oh,
yeah.
man, you know.
Because because the clothing by itself is so colorful and vibrant
it's
and
so
beautiful.
Oh man, it's so fun, and the music and they dance the whole time. They don't stop, and you know, they love whiskey. They love dark spirits.
Right.
Okay.
And so they buy strictly whiskey and like high end cognacs, like all the high end shit. So they're great for the income as well. That's what their shit. They don't really wine. That's not
Right.
really their thing. The wine was more for you know, the Americans and the Europeans. They would buy a lot. They would spend a lot on wine.
Right. Damn. I wonder how long did that bride last at that wedding before she just got booked and taken back to her room? Do you remember?
She disappeared for a bit. I think they cooled her off
Mm-hmm.
in the bridal suite, and then she came back and she was fine. But you know, she didn't seem to care about because they ended up bringing a lot of food down to the dance area,
Right.
Right.
which I think she was like eating at that point. But you know, they definitely left a lot of. And I remember it was like some crazy high end food that they were also like. This was not 10-course, the 13-course shit meal. It was, like,
Right. It wasn't
all-
roasted chicken breasts. It was.
No. Well, it was, but it was, you know, with the
Elegant.
finest
Yeah.
Stuff you could think of in terms
Right.
of ingredients.
That's fucking crazy.
You know, I remember. Yeah, I got a lot of stories. You said I got stories.
Right.
So, you could go all day. You know, the Vino podcast featuring
Right.
Tom White. I remember one time I had the Swedish bank. It wasn't like Deutsche Bank or whatever. I can't remember the name of the bank though. And the client goes to me. A lot of times with these banks, they would hire an event company. So the event company planner was like, you know, they're not really big drinkers, and so we don't really want to spend too much on alcohol. Like, what's your cheapest package? And you know, can we pay per consumption? Because I don't think they're gonna drink much. I'm like, no, we don't do it that way. You just pay for the cheapest package, and that's it, right?
Right.
And then when I calculate my numbers, I'm thinking, okay, I'm only gonna supply this much because they're apparently not big drinkers. These fucking guys. They drank every single bottle of alcohol I had. I swear my hands down. I had to go into stuff that I had prepared for the next few days. So I had to reorder stuff. But they ended up paying for it, though. I said,
Right.
this is going to be an additional bill because this is nuts. They drank their asses off. They were nice people, though. The
Right.
Swedes. They're nice. They're nice people.
It's always funny, like for the hotel I work at, you get like packages, right? You buy like 6 hours of hosted bar, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, whatever
yeah.
like that, right? And usually what they do is they shut it down half hour before the reception's over with, right? Kind of like that's the last call. We get these fucking father-in-laws or father of the bride, father of the groom. They're fucking drunk. They want the party to keep going. Everyone's having a great time. So they first go to the DJ, make sure the DJ will stay an extra hour. Then they come to us. And then they're always like, I'll pay whatever. And they're like, you know, because like you don't understand, like you got to pay for that for like 3 bartenders, you know, like it costs for an hour or more. It's more than you think you imagine,
Right.
you know, and so then it's always funny about half of them. Again, I don't hear every story because
You don't work.
I don't work the events, but usually about half of them they bitch about how much that extra hour costs them when they're sober the next week. You know, like what $2,000 more dollars or you know $1,500, you know whatever it is, and they're trying to like, well, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Like, well, we talked to you. It's not your fucking fault that you're shit faced.
It's not our fault. It's your fault that you were shit faced and decided you wanted the party to keep going instead of having everybody to go to one of the 18 bars on the main street that you're near.
Yeah, I had a hard close on my stuff. Like, I don't care who you are, how much you pay. It closes. And, you know, it's New York City, man. There's a million places you can go afterwards. Yeah. With the few people that want to stay. Because, like you said, Carl, it's not like the whole party wants to stay. It's the father, the groom, the father of the groom. It's like 20 people maybe that want to keep partying.
Right. If you want afties, go somewhere else for afties.
Yeah, this is New York City, man. There's 100 bars and hotel bars and restaurants you can go party at, stuff like that. So they would normally be okay with it. I never had anyone really make a big deal out of it.
All right. What are you going to give the story, Riley?
Simply for walking down the length of a table that is that long, like a runway, but drunk and pissy. 4.3. Barefoot. 4.8. There's glass everywhere.
That's an important detail. There's a lot of forks and knives on that table.
That's a 0.5 point swing right there, motherfucker.
Right. Because there's glass on that table. There's knives on that table. You know there's knives on that table.
All that shit, yeah.
I do a 4.4. Yeah, I mean, that's just that one action alone. Because now it's like you're fucking over all your guests who are there to sit there eat, right? They're probably fucking hungry. They're not shit-faced like you. They're waiting, you know, this is their meal of the day.
Right.
They probably haven't eaten for fucking 10 hours.
Right.
You know, especially if you say...
and you're paying the amount of money you're paying for this
it's probably,
13-course meal hosted.
You know, you go to a wedding, you know, you leave an envelope, right? You know what I'm saying? So you're technically paying to go.
Right, you're paying for your fucking meal.
Exactly. So like now here's his bride kicking your table plate or your plate or whatever.
I'd fucking go over and walk back and get my fucking envelope back.
I would sit at that table. No, she can dance.
They did. People that stood, they replaced it or whatever like that. So some people stood, but like her friends and the younger crowd all left.
Right.
Because they were like, all right, well, we can't stay. She's gonna be mad at us, I guess, you know.
Right. What do you rate your own story?
Yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite stories because seeing it unfold is it was quite surreal. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yo, what?
Right.
You know, and then the fact that it's like a long table.
This probably took a full 90 seconds too. It wasn't just like an immediate quick runaway. No,
like she was out of breath by the time she got to the end of it.
She had to march.
When the fuck did she end? Holy fuck.
I don't know 100 people.
She had to march the length of this one long table.
And that's weird that no one tried stopping her.
Well, they probably did, but like, also she's the bride.
It was so long. Like, fuck this bitch.
Cut her off with the pass.
It's one of those.
We'll meet her at the end.
Yeah, it's one of those fight or flight responses where you're just like watching it happen like a train wreck. You don't know what to do.
I think that's what it was, though. I think honestly, I think everyone, including staff, we were all kind of like, "Is this like happening right now?"
What am I supposed to do?
They did not put this in the fucking employee handbook. How to handle the situation.
This is not on the menu, guys.
We don't have a protocol for this. Did you guys ever put a protocol in place for that?
Afterwards, no. Yeah. We should have that. It would have been fun.
Addendum 5.3.
It's a rare occurrence, I imagine.
All right. So near
on a scale of 1 to 5,
what do you give it?
Me?
Yep.
Oh, I give it a 4.5.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a banger.
That's a great story.
It's a great story.
Barefoot.
I wonder if they're still together. I wonder if she has maybe she became a stripper, right? Walking down the fucking runway, you know. But all right. Well,
I think the husband's like, we're only eating fast food from now on.
Right.
It's got to come out right now. If we go out to eat, I'm gonna order beforehand, so it's at our table when we get there.
And no tables longer than 6 feet. That's it.
Fucking
Only 4x4
the card
tables.
table, you know, the key table, the kitty table.
Exactly. Little countertops, little counters.
Right.
Only buffets from now on.
All right, Mr. Vino, what would you like to plug? What do you want people to go check you out on?
Yeah, I mean, check me out on YouTube at 60-second cocktails. That's 62ND cocktails. Same thing on Instagram. I'm on Reddit. I'm kind of on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some changes coming to the channel. I'm trying to combine my my current professional life and my love for cocktails at some point in the future. So
Sure.
Very intriguing.
Hopefully I've made to make that a seamless transition. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how that's going to look, but that's right now it's definitely 60-second cocktail.
Right on. And if you want to find out more about Vino, maybe find out what this new adventure is going to be, go follow us on Patreon. It is patreon.com/do you want to start a tab. Links in the description. For only $3 a month, you get to hear extra interviews with our guests and some stories from Riley and myself. And it's only $3 a month. It doesn't even cost less than a beer. So it helps us out and it's good times.
Yep.
So don't forget, Vino, thank you for showing up. Stay on. We'll talk to you a little bit long.
Nice.
And don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Tip your bartender and drink responsibly.